Gaming Manual.
Hey everyone, this is Josh from the Gaming Manual, back with another classic gaming magazine. This time it's January 1999, Tips and Tricks. Donkey Kong Show. I remember the show, and I agree with them. The TV show was terrible. All I remember is it had lots of bad songs that were painful to listen to, and Donkey Kong being really dumb and overexcited too easily about bananas. He even had a Banana Slamma quip that he would say at least once every episode as he was attacking. As for this response, well, yeah, everyone has their own opinion, but when your target audience doesn't like it, odds are you should probably make changes to it. Okay. We all know Lara Croft was joked about being the sexiest video game female, but honestly, the games are really good, and I enjoyed the first 3 in the PlayStation 1. That said, I was also a kid, and not the greatest at 3D platformers, so walkthroughs or guides like these were really helpful. I know some people may think using these resources isn't a true way to experience the game, but back then we didn't have YouTube, so we couldn't just look up the one part we were stuck at, nor do we have Let's Plays where you could just watch someone else play the game in its entirety. Guilty Gears. This here was my first introduction to the Guilty Gear franchise. There was a lot of wear and tear here because I used it a lot when I first started playing this game. There's a lot of new mechanics you have to learn, such as parrying, the combo system, chaos attacks, charge attacks, destroy commands, and launcher moves, plus all the terminology that went along with them. As with other fighting games we covered, I feel the gaming manuals that they provided didn't have the same depth of knowledge that these guides here have. And for those that were curious, May and Malaya Rage were the 2 characters that I played the most due to their unorthodox playstyles. Glover is one of those games that you either rented or you had that one friend who always seemed to have all the less mainstream games. I remember renting this for the PlayStation and only being able to beat the first couple of levels. After that, it's kind of a blur. The game itself isn't too hard, but I think there are times when it was unclear as to what to do or where to go. And using this guide helped me get me through those parts. A good game, but not as well known. I would recommend giving it a try if you ever have a chance. Xenogears. Xenogears is a great example of why the PlayStation did so well during its time on the market. Great story, gameplay, and mechanics. Overall, a good RPG. Why not in my personal best 10? Well, honestly, it would be, but the game was never really finished. Unfortunately, they ran out of money, and as a result, the entire second disc is just hours of text. There's a couple of battles thrown in here and there, but there were times when I would sit for 2 hours of text, be prompted to save, and then it was followed by another hour of text. This guide was very helpful because the lack of gameplay on the second disc made it hard to judge how strong you are compared to a boss. And without knowing the HP, or even if it was a killable enemy, it's very helpful, so you're not wasting your time trying to prolong a losing fight. The final boss was also a pain, and this guide made a huge difference. It helps you judge what of the 4 sub-bosses you should defeat, if any, so that you have a better chance against the final boss. Crash Bandicoot. I had all 3 Crash Bandicoot games when I was growing up, and even the remakes now. But I can assure you, the games are great, but a lot longer than 1 paragraph per level. Here's an example of a bad walkthrough that did plague these magazines. At least one magazine would have at least an entry similar to this, but this is really bad because in the editor page, in the front, it was stated by the art director to be her favorite game. This guide has nothing of real value because it only gives you vague information about a couple of spots per level, and unless you have the game memorized, it's hard to tell where you are and match yourself up to those pictures that they give you. The worst part is, they even show the secret levels, but no explanation on how to get there or how you even access them. Select games. Here is the preview section of upcoming games, and right away we have Duke Nukem 0 Hour. I know the Duke Nukem games haven't been great recently and have become somewhat of a meme, but at one time, they were great and people looked forward to playing them. Oh, and here at the end, these are the games I cared about. with only a couple of pictures, such as Sonic Adventure, Armored Core 2, Power Stone, Grandia 2, Guardian Legends. Luckily, pictures are worth 1,000 words. Wait, there aren't words. Whose bright idea was this? Guess I'm just gonna go determine my purchase based off these couple of pictures. Game track. Not much to say here. This is just a list of release dates for the upcoming Nintendo 64 and PlayStation games. But just remember, that barely noticeable dot next to the name means that the game is an import. And if you see the tinier disclaimer at the bottom of the right of the page, that's how you would know. And of course, the main reason anyone even bought the magazine, the cheat codes. Buster Groove was a game that I personally have never played, but I felt like I knew it because of how often my friends would talk about it. All I remember is that it's some sort of dancing-based fighting games, and here you have a list of dancing combos and what looks to be some gimmicks that can be triggered during certain levels.
Well, that just about wraps up this episode of The Gaming Manual. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, we really appreciate your time, and we'll see you in the next video.